to formally arrest him and raid his home. And I'm thinking to myself, these were more people than we used to take down Osama bin Laden. Even Lindsey Graham wants to know why such extreme measures were taken in the case. So I've been thinking about it, chewing on it, and I thought, you know who would maybe give me some good context on this is John Sell, the brilliant former federal prosecutor. John, help me with this. It just seems to me to be overkill, but what do you make of it, and is that, procedure?
Good morning, Neil. Well, following Joe Theismann, one of my heroes, is a little daunting, but I'm going to give it a shot. Yeah. Of course it was excessive. And the proof of the pudding, it's not just Monday morning quarterbacking, is when he was eventually taken to court. And I have a white-collar practice, and my main office is in South Florida. Even when he got to the courthouse, he was put into lockup, and he was brought into the courtroom in handcuffs and shackles. This is a man who knew about the investigation for a couple of years, who the fact that he was released on a bond only on a signature, agreed to by the special counsel's office. So they conceded he was not a flight risk, he was not a danger. So I just don't understand why they did it. I've not been a critic of the special prosecutor, but this emboldens their critics because I think it was an act of poor judgment. I don't think it's the FBI. I think it's the prosecutor's office. I don't think we can get into micromanaging how law enforcement executes a raid. But the real question is, should there have been a raid in the first place? And the answer here is clearly no.
Well, I guess the fear would always be, John, if you can help me with this, that if you're going to destroy stuff, and the feds are fearful you might, maybe then. And I guess that was the issue with it raiding Paul Manafort's home, Michael Cohen's home. But this seemed disproportionate to that.
Well, that's just the point. What they could have done is just what they did with Michael Cohen. They could have done some kind of a search warrant, taken what they needed, and then given him a notice to appear, cooperated. And that's the trouble. It shouldn't be cooperators can voluntarily surrender and people who are going to exercise their constitutional rights can't. What I always do is when I first start a representation, I always write to the prosecutor and I say, in the event charges are filed, notify me and my client will surrender. And I find that they only honor that most of the time. They only honor that if my client's going to cooperate. That's just wrong. And I think that the new Attorney General should address this as a matter of policy. And they should not do stuff like this when it's highly excessive, inappropriate, and it's very scary, too. And it discredits the whole investigation.
A trial would likely come a year from now, if then. And I'm wondering if that is a signal how long the Mueller probe could last.
Mr. Whitaker made that statement that it's nearing an end, which everybody's wondering where that came from. I mean, I think that that's a question that the new Attorney General will call in the special counsel, and he will get briefed, and maybe then we'll get some answers. But no, it's not a sign that this is coming to an end quickly. All the evidence they seized, why didn't the special counsel ask for a quicker trial if they were coming to an end? So we don't know, but this, I think educated guess is an educated guess is they still have a ways to go.
John Sale, thank you very, very much.
Thanks, Neil, for having me.
Same here. All right, in the meantime,